Welcome to Playa del Carmen, Mexico. Purpose of this video is to head out on the beach and go for a walk and check out the beach conditions. Beaches look great, and I've got some additional information to explain possibly why they look so good and why they might continue to look good for a while.
I was just a label back in 69. Thank you.
Welcome back to my channel and welcome to beautiful Playa del Carmen, Mexico. Just for context, we have a map here and I'll circle this section right here. This is Mamita's Beach Club, legendary beach club, and I'll circle this section right here. This is the beach we're gonna go for a walk on and check out the beach conditions. Let's go. Good morning from Playa del Carmen, Mexico. Just another beautiful day in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. We're at the famous Mamita's Beach Club. Look at that sand, look at that sun coming through the palm trees. The weather has been beautiful, 31 degrees, sunny, partly sunny. This week looks gonna be awesome weather. Why wouldn't you wanna come down here? I've got some insights today and I've got some extra maps here to explain, I think, what is going on with the beaches. Look at that sunrise. Sunrise today was at 6:26 a.m. Another beautiful day in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. The beaches here continue to confuse the heck out of me. I'm walking down here, I can't smell the beach. People are on the beach, people are loving the beach. This never gets old, just coming down here at sunrise. And I just love doing this, making these videos. You can see the tire tracks. There's been a lot of people working on this thing for hours. I can see them from my balcony. They probably got up here around 4 in the morning and they have been working tirelessly. Just try to get these beaches ready. Huge weekend here with Easter weekend. Tire tracks all over. You're gonna see the raking marks all over the place. You're gonna see these special machines coming to pick all the seaweed up. They've got trollers out there trying to pick up the seaweed before it gets to the beach. They've got thousands of people working on the beach. They've got other special boats picking up the seaweed before it gets in here to the beach. They're just working hard to really maintain these beaches. Now, there is the famous Mamita's Beach Club. Please, you know, if you're down here for a week and you want to go to a beach club, this is one of the places you want to get to. You can see the tire tracks, you can see this thing. I don't know what they call this, but it's kind of a rear loader and it picks up all the seaweed, and this beach looks awesome. It may be picking up a lot of sand. People say that maybe it's due to some of the sand erosion, but look at this machine. This tractor and this rear loader thing has been picking up all the seaweed for the last couple hours, and the beaches look awesome. So that thing right there, hats off to that thing, and hats off to the Mexican government. That thing is working. It's like magic. People are walking along the beach enjoying the day already. It's an early morning. It's beautiful down here. Now, I'm gonna pull up some maps here and I'm gonna try to make sense of why there's very little seaweed here. Okay, I want you to have a look at this map here. This is basically Quintana Roo. This is the part of Mexico. Bottom right there is the island. That is Cozumel. Now, why am I showing you this map? Red means you've got a lot of seaweed. You've got the orange, which means I guess there's a fair amount of it. Yellow means there's a moderate. Green means there's not a lot. And then the blue dots along the coast there mean there's no seaweed. I'm going to circle this section right here. That is where we are standing right now on this beach. Now you can see it's kind of green and yellow. Green and yellow basically means there's not much and moderate. Well, this morning we see almost no seaweed because they've been out here cleaning it up for the last couple hours. Now I'm wondering, why is there a lot less seaweed in this area? Because you can see green dots kind of north of it there, and south. Now this goes all the way up to Cancun, and up in Cancun you can see where it's kind of an orangish kind of color and dots on the coast. That means there's a lot more seaweed up there. And you look down at the south there around Tulum at the bottom of the map, it's also kind of orangish. That means there's a lot more seaweed down there. In around this Playa del Carmen area that I've circled, it's a lot more yellow and green, meaning there's a lot less seaweed in this area, especially where we are standing. Now, I'm going to go to this map. I'm going to circle this section right here. Why am I circling that section? It's got all these red dots. What does that have to do with where we're standing right now? Well, the seaweed or sargassum is coming from the right-hand part of the map out in the Atlantic Ocean. The winds are pushing it in towards this coast, and there's a huge abundance of seaweed out there. It's supposed to be one of the biggest seaweed seasons 2025 in a long time. I believe all this seaweed is coming in from the Atlantic Ocean, which is off to the right, and it's coming in towards the left. And because we've got Cozumel there, that little island, then those red dots, it is stopping the seaweed right there to prevent it from coming into the sweet spot here, which is Playa del Carmen. We know north with Cancun, there is no island in the way there. Cozumel is not a buffer there because it's open sea to the right there. And Tulum also to the bottom, it's open sea. Now this Cozumel, I think, indirectly is saving Playa del Carmen from it being as bad as it is from up in Cancun or down in Tulum. As a result, you might want to think about coming down to Playa del Carmen because it's got Cozumel there as a little buffer, something in the way to stop the seaweed before it gets to the coast. Okay, we're back. Look at that beach. I don't know what they call that rear loader thing with the tractor, but that thing is money. You look at the tire tracks all up and down this beach. You look at all the rake marks. You look at the ATVs that have been going up and down here. I've been watching from the balcony for the last maybe hour and a half. These guys are working. Now, as I said, they've got these seaweed trollers out there picking it up out before it gets to the beach. They've also got barriers out there. They've got some new double barriers out by Parque Las Fundadores. And they've got thousands of people here cleaning up the beaches. And I am shocked. Now, they usually say that seaweed season starts between January and April. It has been probably the best I have seen it in the last 3 years. You see the tire tracks there, but you can also see the rake marks up on the beach. They have raked this whole thing, and like this is a big week down here. Mexico. Now Cancun airport is supposed to have one of its busiest times of the year this weekend. There's a lot of seaweed in the water there, not as much as it would normally be at this time of year, but it is not on the beach. Why? Because they've been cleaning this stuff up. Now it's out there in the water. It's eventually going to come in, but as I always say, it seems like now they're being able and they can manage the amount that's coming in. 2 years ago, they could not manage it. Now at that point, they did not have the trollers out there. They did not have the other boats picking it up out there. They didn't have the extra barriers out there. They didn't have as many people on the beach here trying to clean it up. But 2025, all the literature, all the scientific literature is saying that this is supposed to be one of the worst sargassum/seaweed seasons in history. They've been getting progressively worse, but I'll say that December was one of the coolest months here in a long time. It was rainy and cool. January it started to warm up. February also just a little kind of topsy-turvy, but now it has settled in to beautiful Playa del Carmen weather. I think it's been 31. That's 87 degrees Fahrenheit for the last number of days. Look at the sky. You've got just a little bit of cloud there, but what can you say? This is beautiful weather. This is why people come down here. Seaweed is the situation right now. You want to minimize that seaweed and you want people coming down here. People have been saying, you know, why do you tell people not to come down here? I'm not telling people not to come down here. All I'm saying is that if you're paying thousands of dollars to come down here and stay on the beach and have a condo on the beach or a hotel on the beach, and you're going to smell seaweed and rotten eggs for a week, and you're going to get a headache and a respiratory whatever, cold or something like that from ingesting that, and coming out then onto the beach and then swimming up against it, getting stung by something, and people are saying it's discoloring their jewelry when they go in to the water, and it's some of this seaweed is rubbing up against their jewelry, and it's, I don't know if it's taking the coating off it, but it's discoloring their jewelry. So these are all the reports I've been getting for the last, this is week 21, 22. We're looking at 5 months I've been down here covering it. And I just want to say hats off to Playa del Carmen, the municipal government, Quintana Roo, Riviera Maya, and the Mexican government for all the work they've been doing to keep these beaches as beautiful as they can. Another beautiful day in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. You don't have to walk around the seaweed. You can actually walk along the water there. You can go in the water. All I'm saying is, this is the situation. We're down here for another week anyways. The weather looks awesome this week. If you're coming down for Easter and this week, everything looks really good. I'll say thanks for coming along on the walk with me. I'll say ciao for now from beautiful Playa del Carmen, Mexico.